Prophet ﷺ left. And then the Prophet ﷺ came back with an army of 10,000 to Mecca. Now, when the conquest of Mecca happened, now I'm telling you, these people keep attacking the Prophet, but now that it's a counterattack. Now, Prophet ﷺ took an army of 10,000 people and went for the conquest of Mecca. Okay? Do you know the Prophet surrounded Mecca? Do you know what the disbelievers of Quraysh did? The same people I'm telling you were persecuting the Prophet and trying to kill them and all of that. Those same people, they surrendered because there's a 10,000 people army. Do you know what the Prophet did? Tell me, what the Prophet do? The people who were killing his companions, insulting him, torturing him for 13 years. When he came back with an army of 10,000 people, what did he do?
He offered peace.
But we were just saying he wages wars and he kills people.
Yeah.
So if this is the truth, then what should he be doing?
I don't know. I'm taking a guess on what you're going to say.
Yes, yeah, but I'm saying if we were to apply this logic that people bring with attacking the Prophet, then the natural thing will be he'll take back his revenge. Prophet ﷺ said to them, you are free. Antum tulqa, and he let them go.
Okay.
And he said there is no blame on you today, basically. Imagine 13 years, you know, us as a human being, someone does something bad to you once, you spend your entire life not talking to them. Some people, their family members, they insult them or do something bad to them once, and they spend their entire life not talking to them. Now I'm telling you, 13 years of persecution. Prophet comes back and he let them go free. When he's in a position of power. And that's what mercy is. Because people talk to us about Jesus being merciful, but Jesus was never in a position of power. And you can't compare Jesus to Prophet Muhammad when he was never in power. Jesus spent 3 years of ministry, and he was in a position of weakness under the Byzantine Empire or whatever. He was in a position of weakness under Caesar. And he said to the people, give to Caesar what is due to Caesar, pay him taxes, basically. So Jesus was you cannot compare 23 years of the life of a person, 13 years in persecution, and when he had power, to someone who never had power. That's not a fair comparison. Mercy is given when you are in a position of power. Yes, Jesus said to the people, oh, forgive and do, but he was not in a position of power. So that's not the real definition of mercy. Because you're not in power anyways. What can you say other than that? Even if you don't say let them go, you cannot say go attack them because you're weak. So it's not really mercy to say to the people, be merciful when you're weak. Mercy is when you're in a position of power and authority and you still choose to forgive people. Okay? So this is the life of Prophet Muhammad. So this idea of the Prophet was doing this is really, when you compare it to the life of the Prophet, it really makes no sense. So that is the first point you mentioned. Second point you mentioned about Prophet ﷺ marrying multiple wives. You yourself agreed that other prophets of God. Do you know how many wives Solomon had?
I know it was a lot, yeah. But doesn't mean it was
He had
okay.
1,000. No. That's the problem you're missing. He had 1,700 concubines and 300 wives. David had 100. Abraham had multiple wives, 3, I believe, or more. Moses had multiple wives. All of the prophets of God, all of these main prophets of God had multiple wives. You said it doesn't mean it was okay. That's incorrect, because there isn't a single verse where God condemns them for that. There isn't a single verse. There are verses in the Old Testament that talks about how to deal with women. If you have more than one wife, how to deal with them, basically. So that means that God is okay with this idea.
In the Bible, you have to quote it yourself type thing, because I couldn't tell you where it is, but there is scriptures that say, per the prophets that did have multiple wives, tons of how do you say that word? Catastrophes end up happening. Like either all their children that were born would die, their wives would die.
No, that's not true. Really actually, no, that's not true. Actually, no. There's no verse like that. There's only something about. There's only a talk about Solomon because of an action he did, he was punished for, or talk about David because of an action he did, he was punished for. There's not any verses that condemn having more than one wife. None. And there's not a single verse like you. There's not a verse in the Bible that says what you said. There's not a single verse that says
not
that God
exactly,
was punishing.
But there's verses that state,
or to that meaning
be good
at all.
To your wife, be good to.
The Quran says the same thing. Prophet said the best of you are the best of their wives. Prophet ﷺ is telling us the best of you are the best. Yeah, when it says wives means that they're multiple believers, so it's wives in plural. That doesn't mean that believers have many wives. It just means that because there are many believers, you would say wives. They're not one believer. So he says the best of you are the best of their wives because he's talking to a multitude of people.
Well, then
so if you're married,
Adam and Eve and Victoria and Sandra and.
Why does he need to? God in the initial beginning stage created two people.
Would have stopped incest.
But no. But I mean, who said that there was incest? Anyways, That's a position that the biblical narrative says. Islam doesn't say anything about that. How they multiplied in that time, Allah knows best. Allah didn't tell us. So we're not taking
Yeah,
that
you're
position.
right.